I suggested, Mr. President, why don't we have modest tax cuts for middle-income Americans? $500 billion was the target that I offered, and shore up Social Security and Medicare. Spend some money on assisting local school districts, and I know the former superintendent is here with us today, and the current superintendent is here with us now. Spend some money on education, and let's pay down the rest of the long-term debt. Well, that argument was rejected, as we know, twice, in 2001 and 2003. I reject the position that my friend has offered about privatizing Social Security. He has embraced the Ryan position on his website. The Ryan position is not even supported by the Republican leadership in the House of Representatives. Vouchers for Medicare? These are positions that are well outside the mainstream of what America's thinking. I was chosen to make the argument against the privatization of Social Security. 57% of the recipients of Social Security today are women. Are women. That means they are generally living off their spouse's pension. Now, why is that important? Half the people that get up and go to work every single day in America, honorably, are not in a retirement system. Not in a retirement system. I have proposed common sense legislation that will allow the development of automatic individual retirement accounts for small employers using tax credits, and I will tell you, for insurance agents, credit unions, and community bankers, they will find that to be very desirable. The number one issue when we continue this debate is back to stabilizing this economy. But during those Clinton years, we balanced the budgets, paid down the debt, and created, and I hope if there's no other number that you take away today, it's this one, 22 million jobs. Now, Senator Moynihan got it right. Let's separate opinion from fact. But whatever we do, let's not make the argument to go backwards in this debate. I am committed to ending the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, now 10 years old. The price tag on the war in Iraq, north of $750 billion. Fact, overwhelmingly borrowed money. I opposed my own president on expanding the war in Afghanistan. I agree with General Petraeus. I agree with General Stanley McChrystal. There will be a negotiated political settlement. We need to address the instability that is offered on the Pakistan border, where the Pashtun tribesmen move back and forth to destabilize not only the Pakistani government, but the Afghan government as well. Now, I call this to your attention because nobody has ever said, even on the Republican side of the aisle in Congress, that Congressman Neal is ineffective. You have never heard that word used to describe any presentation by any member of the Congress. I fully engage in debates. I have come home every single weekend, with the exception of 3, since I've been a member of Congress, to meet with you and to hear what you've got to say. There has been more than $500 million worth of development that I've brought back to this congressional district. And a good announcement coming on St. Gobain next week for this region. When Frank Saber calls at Milford Regional Hospital, I'm right there. That hospital is a gem. If you haven't had a chance yet to see that cancer center, everybody in this region ought to be proud of what Milford Regional Hospital has to offer. Every year in January, there is a regional seminar that I conduct on how to finance the cost of a college education. So on one hand, I do travel back and forth, paying attention to the big issues that we all see every single day, but I have not forgotten the responsibilities that I have to come back and visit with all of you regularly. And for those of you who are members of this chamber, how many times have I been here to take your questions, to listen to what you have to say, and to visit with you whenever you ask? Lastly, when I hear this argument about what happened to stabilize financial institutions in this country. That was a responsible position that I took. A responsible position. The argument that you would let all of these companies go overboard, State Street Bank in Boston, the Hartford, well, guess what? They've gotten through their troubles. I didn't cause this international contagion, but I certainly tried very hard to be part of the common sense solutions that were offered. And for those who have argued about the automobile sector, I understand your arguments. But you know what? Qualify them by saying 78,000 jobs have now been created in the automobile sector as we speak. The government has made $25 billion as of yesterday on the loans that were extended. At the same time, Stanley O'Neill at Merrill Lynch should not have been allowed to walk out the door with $169 million after running that company into the ground. We watched Bear Stearns go overboard, we watched Wachovia go overboard, and yes, we watched Lehman Brothers go overboard. But I want to tell you this, in September of 2008, mark the date, September 2008, the Secretary of the Treasury, a Republican, Henry Paulson, sat across from us and said, if you don't take the following steps now, in a matter of weeks, people will not be able to access their debit cards, you will not be able to use a credit card, you will not be able to cash a check, and you will not be able to access your life savings in banking institutions. I took the responsible position. And you know what? I'm guessing in this audience with business people, you believe that I took the responsible position. When I hear these arguments that are vacuous by nature, that we should have collapsed the American economy, it doesn't make any sense, given the fact that we're a leader across this globe. So we're going to sort these issues, and we're going to get through them. But I have aggressively and assertively represented you every single day in the Congress of the United States.
Now introduce candidate Tom Wesley, resident of Hopedale, currently serving as Director of Strategic Planning for the Waters Corporation in Milford. He carries with him a diverse business background in sales, marketing, and operations. Has some entrepreneurial blood, previously started and ran his own company. Tom is a graduate of the United States Merchant Marine Academy, earning a bachelor's degree there, and later a Master of Science from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Following his undergraduate degree, he was commissioned as an ensign in the United States Navy, earned his wings as a naval aviator, and then honorably served our armed forces for 9 years during the height of the Cold War. During that time, he received several military decorations for his service, principally at the Joint Chiefs of Staff, as well as the Chief of Naval Operations Staff in D.C. He's currently an active member of the West Avon Congregational Church, where he's a lay leader and volunteer, teaching Sunday school classes. He's a Scout Master of the Troop 1 in Hopedale, and on his bio you'll read that he states he lives by the motto of his alma mater, acta non verba, deeds, not words. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce candidate Tom Wesley.
I'm happy to say I did win the coin toss this morning. Look, I am a candidate for the West Congress here. And I have a vision, I'm running because I have a vision for the United States that foresees continued American leadership, politically, economically,